welcome to another episode of Man Time, guys. Today's episode, we're going to be finishing up getting the new Holland 660 round Baler field ready. So, yeah, a little history on this machine. I've got a previous episode. Check it out before this one. It might be up in the corner somewhere to check out if I know how to do that stuff. But otherwise, just go to my channel, subscribe, and you'll be able to find the previous video. But this baler I got from a guy who was selling out all of his hay baling equipment and got a really good deal on it. Unfortunately, I went to lift it up and the cylinder was just dumping fluid out of it. Had to rebuild that. Did that in the last video. This video, I've got a belt. That first one on this side here, it's got to be replaced. I've got a new belt. I've got the deals to stick in there. I've got some new hay pickups that I want to put on there. So just kind of overall doing all the field maintenance to get it ready for the field. So that's going to be the episode. If you're interested in being a hay farmer, this is for you. Welcome to Man Time. Alright, so first things first. I went through and did all the greasing maintenance on the machine, but actually turning the machine on with the PTO, haven't done that yet. So let's get our PTO hooked up here and actually run the machine to see if it works correctly. Alright, all hooked up. This is taking very little horsepower to run. And as I was saying, this machine in the manual says it's designed for a 100 horsepower tractor. It's doing pretty well here with. So here you can see all the belts. It says on the belts to make sure that they're running true. Of course, this one here is running that way and it's frayed on the end. Some amount of fraying is fine. But as far as like everything else, they seem to be tracking pretty good. Nothing, you can adjust these to make sure they aren't going one way or another way. They seem to all be adjusted pretty well. So we're just going to try to adjust this belt here. You can see here, it's loose. You know, compared to the other ones, they're fairly tight in there. And this one is just really loose. The way that you do that, you've got a couple things here. You've got a lock and an unlock lever here. So what you want to do is you want to lift this up quite a ways until like you're reaching to lock this valve out up here. And then you've got a lock down here. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to raise it up and then lock it and then lower it down a few feet. And that should untension the belts here. We'll see if that works. So I guess I need to be able to get in here to get the belt off. So I need to have the linkage, whatever chain accessible. I guess that's one part you don't get from the manual is you got to rotate it until you have the chain accessible. It might be really good actually. So the linkage is right down here. Yeah, I wish I knew where exactly to drop it. That'd actually probably be pretty good. Right down here is probably ideal. Let me run it a little bit for you. Alright, now to lock it out, what they say to do, and we've got this perfect now, right here. is, alright, lock this and then lower it down a little bit, and that should retension. Okay, that worked. So we've got no tension on the belts now. There's actually 2 splices in here. Boy, I just don't know about that. I think I still need to get up in here to like run the belt around. I think I wanted to be up higher than that. Yeah, let's get up a little bit higher. So that immediately just retensions it. That's cool. Now let's get up a little bit higher. Alright, so now the question is, how do we get this out? And it looks like, should just be able to pull. Okay, well that's entirely too easy. Holy sh... This is plastic. Really? The new ones that I got are not plastic. Let's look at those. Alright, so here is our new ones. Replacement hinge pins. Okay. Good stuff. Now, are these plastic like the other ones? Like that one. Okay, definitely not. This is steel. So the replacement in there was just kind of, I mean, maybe you could use that as a field replacement, but that's not going to work so much for a true fix. So this looks like the right thing. Probably going to have to hammer that in there. Okay, now the hard part. Let's get the old belt off, new belt on. New belt. Apparently this is the one that... Oh. Look at that, the son of a gun gave me an extra deal to put in there. Wasn't that nice? So he's included, guy that I bought this from was nice enough to include some spare parts, of course the original belt that he had redone at the dealership, and it looks like a piece of shielded aircraft cable is what he was using to string these back together. So let's just let's look at the one they provided me at New Holland and see if this is the correct size. So here's our belt, and yeah, this fits nice and snug in there. That probably requires a hammer to get that in there with both of them lined up, but this is super snug. This isn't going anywhere. Alright, back up, dogs. Alright, got off our old one. Now, we want to make sure to coil this one up and keep it just in case that same thing happens. Now, the pin that goes in between the chainmail, or whatever it is that holds the belt together, from what I was seeing in the manual, it looks like that stuff is supposed to be replaced every season. Now, every season is pretty vague, right? One farmer season might be 1,000 bales. Another farmer season might be 50. Another farmer season might be, 3,000. So, I'm assuming there's kind of some gray area there where you're going to have a little bit of a learning curve figuring out. Go in it. She does not like thunderstorms in her old age. Determining when those things actually go. But we will find those things out together. Matter of fact, if you run a 660 or a big round baler like this, and you happen to know how many bales before the link pins, or whatever they're called, deals that hold your belts together, decide to start going. Whew. The things that go right in here. Put it down in the comments there. Let me know about how many bills I can expect before these things start breaking. That would be tremendous for me and anybody else watching this who is going to be running one of these round balers. So, okay, time to put the new belt in. Take a little water break. Alright, we are in the midst of a thunderstorm here, so we'll see if we can get this done before we start getting rained on, or we may just be doing it in the rain. Pardon my dog, she's crazy with the thunder and lightning. So, anyways, okay, I'm thinking we're going to thread up and then to the back, since the front looks pretty tough. Yeah, let's just go with that. Hope it works. Am I gonna make it? I don't know. Alright, let's go back a little ways here. See if you're safe here. Alright, looks like the last piece of the puzzle is putting it together. And one of the things I said in the manual, one, don't do this in a thunderstorm, apparently. I mean, that should probably be implied. Two, make sure you have it lined up correctly. And I can see what they were talking about there, because getting it lined up correctly is not just kind of as easy as it might seem. I think that's it, though. I think we got it. Where's my hammer? Go, get back. Okay, that's it. But, son of a gun, it's way too... See, this one is way too... Oh, Jesus. Nope. Ah, never ending. I'm about to get dumped on here. Good thing I've only got 1 day off a week. That makes this stuff a whole lot easier. Alright, so this one seems to have much more slack than the rest of them. Here comes the thunder. But let's tension this up. Okay, so there's tension on the system, and you can see here they're all tensioned except the one. So, how to determine how much tension to take out of that is the question. And they say to have this done at the dealership, and I mean there's at least, what, 10 inches there? I don't know. Alright, so this was a big waste of time, but if you're doing it, yeah, I don't know. Is there any tips or tricks for anybody out there doing this for the first time? Just off the cuff, maybe measure the length of the unstrung belt to make sure before you put a new one in there it's the same length. That might work. Alright, well, good thing I made this a two-parter, because now it's going to have to be another week before I get this figured out. I'm going to have to take this belt into my New Holland dealer, and they're going to have to rewrap it, or they've got an aftermarket riveted kit. I don't have a riveting gun that's going to do it. Thunder. So, yeah, we'll see. And I really don't know how to figure out how much amount of slack I need to take out of this. I mean, everything else is tight. Obviously, I want this one tight. I mean, 6-8 inches, something like that. It's going to stretch out a little bit with time. It's tough to say. Tough to say. But anyways, alright, I'm going to get that back off of there and get it down to New Holland, and we'll come back when we have a belt that fits. I think I figured it out. What I'm going to do is measure from the wire mesh on either side, put a mark, measure that distance, and then subtract that distance from the distance that's in this additional piece here. Alright, so I measured with both of the sides, either side of the extra piece in there. It was 17 inches of additional piece that I need. I've got like 29 and a half. So what I'm going to actually do here is go into the New Holland place and just have them cut me and thread on a 17-inch piece. And then I'll just take out this additional section here, put the 17-inch section in there, and I think I've got it. So let's try that.